What's up, everybody? It's Scotty with Evil Striegel, and we're back with another ride video today. We're riding another mini moto to kind of keep with the theme of, I guess, the beginning of the year this year with the Navi. And we're moving on to the bike behind me here. This is a Benelli TNT 135. It's a competitor to the Grom and the Kawasaki Z125 Pro. We're going to get it on the road and just compare it to its counterparts and see how it is. I'm pretty excited. Let's get into it. All right, so we're checking out the instrumentation here before we get started. Really nice digital readout here, big screen, big, I guess that would be your tack there, and you're going to have a digital speedo. So similar to a Grom, but maybe actually a little easier to read if I'm being honest. Let's get her started. This Benelli 135 is fuel injected. I honestly expected it to be carbureted, but it's actually fuel injected. I got to looking down there at where the carburetor should be and noticed a throttle body. So another cool thing about the Benelli that we're on here is it is a 5-speed transmission. So kind of like the newer Grom. I've seen some comparisons between this and the previous generation Grom, which was a 4-speed. Of course, now they've upgraded that to a 5-speed, and that was a huge improvement. So everything that I've seen comparative-wise between this and like the Grom or the Z125 Pro is all on the 4-speed units, this being a 5-speed. And a lot of people did say that that was an upgrade. But we're going to see how it feels now that I have ridden, both the Kawasaki Z, and I have ridden the new Grom, and I've ridden the Honda Navi. But this bike is a little cheaper. It's going to be closer to the Z125 Pro in its new in its new model pricing. You're going to be at about $3,200 MSRP for the black variant that we are on here. This one, of course, is used. We don't carry the Benelli brand at the CC Powersports Clarksville location. We do sell SSR at the Louisville store that I work for, and we have great luck with those. So I wouldn't expect to have really any reliability issues out of these motorcycles. We've seen great luck. We've had great luck with the SSRs at the Louisville location. So that I can say is probably a good thing, that these are manufactured by SSR, and they are a little cheaper than their Japanese counterparts. And so far, I feel like it is maybe a little bigger than the Grom. It feels like it's got a little more room in the rider compartment. Not a lot. I think it is maybe a couple inches longer wheelbase-wise. So from what I understand, from what I've read other people's reviews, it's a little more stable in corners. And it does accelerate a little more. Of course, we do have an extra 10 cc's to work with over the Grom or the Z125. So I'm sure that's got to help in that department. I think we're putting out about, you see varying specs. I've seen as much as 13.2 horsepower out of this engine. And actually on Benelli's website, they list it at about 11.5 horsepower. So I'm going to trust the manufacturer on that. That's probably rear wheel. Maybe the other number I saw was at the crank. But it does run out pretty good. It's got a few extra ponies over the Grom. We are comfortably cruising at 50 mph right now, which is all you really need to do. And it doesn't feel like it's working too hard. Actually, we're getting up to... we're really getting up to about 55 if I hold her wide open, which I don't want to ride this thing too hard. But, really, it feels pretty capable. It is. I think I can say it is maybe a little more comfortable than the Grom. Not a lot, but it's a little bigger. And I like that. This feels a little more like a full-size motorcycle. Not quite as big as like a KTM Duke 200. But certainly maybe just a hair larger, by the slightest of margins. Really, what we're talking about to say the Grom or the Z125 Pro. But really, no problem. We got a pretty substantial headwind right now, and we're cruising right along at the speed limit. So, color me impressed. I have to say, I really like the way this thing looks. We can maybe look at some glamour shots of it a little bit here. It's kind of got that it's got that Italian styling, of course. You know, they're using the Italian name, the Benelli, but it's got the twice pipes coming out, kind of maybe like a Ducati or you know, and maybe, you know, a boutique Italian sport bike. But really cool, man. You know, it's got maybe a little bit of that MT-07, MT-09 vibes as well. Actually, the person that's purchasing this motorcycle liked it because it looks a little bit like a Yamaha MT series bike. Yeah, so we are actually inspecting it. This bike that I'm riding has sold already. It was a super clean trade-in at the dealership, and a young dude came in and picked this thing up. So shout out Jose if you're watching this. He was pretty stoked to be picking it up, and I can kind of see why. I think it's pretty fun. This, I mean, the kind of riding that we're doing on it is what this motorcycle is meant for. You know, it's a commuter really, or a city bike, or maybe if you just want to rip back roads or whatever. But you know, unfortunately, we're in downtown Louisville. I don't have a lot of back roads to rip, especially not on the way to the sheriff's office to get it inspected. If this were my personal bike, maybe I would go out and rip some back roads on it. But I can tell you, like, just doing this kind of thing, like commuting to work or riding, you know, into a city like we're riding into right now, the bike is perfect for that. I feel, like I said, I think I feel personally it might be a little more comfortable than the Grom, but not substantially. It just maybe feels a little bigger, which is nice, but it's still going to have that 12-inch wheel. So, you know, you're not going to want to be going super fast on this thing. I mean, the speeds that it's capable of, you feel totally safe on. But, you know, this is not a bike you're going to want to... You don't want to be going like 80 miles an hour on a set of 12-inch wheels. It's just not stable. But it feels great for this. And I think it definitely benefits from that extra gear that it has, just like the new 22 Grom. If you go 22 and newer, that new 5-speed transmission that they put in the Grom was a huge upgrade, especially on the top end, so it's just not as buzzy when you're wide open. And this bike benefits from the same thing. And, you know, one thing I kind of like about this bike versus other, like, I would say, like, direct Grom clones that you see online, where they've got that horizontal engine, just like the Honda or the Kawi. This one, you know, Benelli went with, you know, a more standard upright 4-stroke engine that, you know, is probably still somewhat based on a Honda engine of yore. But those are really good engines, and it's got a different characteristic to it than the more like lazy feeling, I would say, of that horizontal, or I don't know what you would call it, but the horizontal single cylinder that you see on all the Hondas and a lot of the Chinese clones. Just really, really good engine characteristics, especially even at low speeds. I really like it, and it kind of sets this bike apart from the rest. You know, it's not a direct clone. You know, it's kind of its own thing, and I'm digging it. So yeah, that's just kind of my quick thoughts on the Benelli. I think it's a viable option if you're looking at you know, picking up a small kind of get around bike, a commuter. I think this would be a pretty good option for you. It does this kind of thing great. What a beautiful day. Wow, it's about 72 degrees. Sunny, light breeze in downtown Louisville. People are out and about. Nice day. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I enjoy the Benelli TNT 135. I think it could be a cool bike if you're looking for something you don't want to spend that extra couple of $100, plus all the freight and everything that you're probably going to pay on a Japanese bike like a Grom. A Grom's going to be actually a lot more than this. You're probably looking at about $600 to $700 more for the Grom over this bike, and it is fuel injected. So if I were looking at a Z125 Pro or this, and you don't want to mess with the carburetor, maybe look at the Benelli. Could be a cool option if you've got one near you. If not, Z125 is a great option. So is the Grom. But anyway, this has been Scotty with Evil Castrigal. Thank you for watching. Thank you for a subscription. We're getting close. we're almost in the 700 club. I want to be at that 1,000 mark really bad. So the closer, the sooner we get there, the better. Just keeps me motivated to keep putting out this kind of content, and more stuff coming soon. I've got a ride day planned on the KO. I might even get the old enduro bike out on a motocross track. We'll see. See how that thing can do on something like that. But anyway, this has been Scotty the Evil Striegel, and yeah, I'll check you later.